What's going on, guys? This is Burris here to talk to you today about an overnight backpack hiking trip and what I take on it. I have a lot of PMs and messages where people are like, so what do you take on it? What do you take for your sleeping arrangements? What do you take for knives? What do you take for cooking? Etc, etc. So I just got back from one of my more recent trips and I have most of my stuff in my pack, some stuff sitting here, but I'm going to show you what I most likely will take on an overnight backpacking trip. So more than likely I'm going to take a Gregory Baltoro 65. This is the backpack that I have that I like the best. It's probably the most recent one I purchased. All the other ones aren't as advanced as it, you know, it has all this stuff. It is a little heavy, it's 5 pounds, 10 ounces, and you know, that's something I'm looking to change. But that's the backpack that I have on today. I'm going to take it off and show you what's in it. So first off, let's start at the top here. I try to keep most of my weight at the top to the mid of the pack. You don't want to have a lot of weight at the bottom of the pack or you're just going to have a ton of not a good time when you're out there backpacking. But what I have at the top here, on the back here, is a zipper. And I'll just go through this real quick. I have toiletries in here. You know, you got to have the pull-up flushable wipes, always a positive. Got some toilet paper, and I also have in here a Fiskars shovel, little hand shovel. I carry with me this Katadyn dry, keeps your feet dry, super absorbent powder. Used this when I was out in Arizona with Haas. Haas brought it along, I forgot mine, I used it, and I really like it. Hope you can see that. I also have in here where I will be going, and some basic stuff as far as, you know, terrain, what I'm going to be hiking through, etc, etc. You always want to leave that with a family member or someone that you know, so they know where you're going in case you don't come back when you say you're going to come back. I have a medical kit here. This is just a real basic one. Just some Advil, some moleskin, drip drop, peroxide, tape, some anti-itch cream, you know, just the basic stuff. It's just an overnight deal. You shouldn't have anything too threatening that's going to come up, but if it does, you know, you can stop bleeding with the stuff that's in here. I do have a level 1 first aid kit video if you're curious as to what I put in there. And I also have in here some Gorilla Tape that's wrapped around a credit card. So as we move down here, let's go ahead and unbuckle this and I'll get the top of this off here. So underneath this I have my pad. Now this is assuming that I'll be doing some hammock camping, which I was. And I take this pad with me. This is a Trail Pro by Thermarest, this Thermarest Trail Pro. I can wrap this up a little differently. Like I said, I just got back and I did some regular car camping afterwards, and this is how I have it wrapped up. But usually I try to make this a little bit smaller on the sides. But anyway, this is a great pad. And the thing you want to know about hammock camping is you want to not inflate this all the way. You want to inflate it probably about 50% of the way, and it'll keep you super warm. You know, these pads will keep you super warm in your hammock as long as you're not down into the single digits. These pads are definitely going to, you know, do the job for you instead of a underquilt, which I do not own. I also carry with me just a tarp here. This is just a tarp that was part of another tarp that I cut. There was a big tarp and I cut it to fit a tent, and then I had some left over, and I like to have a pad there, you know, underneath my hammock to kind of put, you know, my bag and my shoes, etc, etc, instead of you know, having it on the grass. And you know, this comes in handy in many different arenas when I'm out there backpacking. Now underneath of this top part is another part here. I'll go ahead and go through that. I have my Katadyn Hiker Pro water filter, which I like to use. And if you can't have one of those, make sure you boil water, and we'll get to that a little bit later. Sometimes I'll take a radio with. I've never actually used it, but you never know. Never know when you might need one. And I have some gloves in here. These are just some mechanics gloves. Just regular padded mechanics gloves, padded palms ones. And I have some Purell. Always you want to take something with you to wash. Some Purell. I also take a small bottle of this Magnet Outgo Waterless Wash. This stuff is amazing. You can get it in a smaller container, and that's what I usually take with me. Just got, like I said, I just got done camping, car camping, and you know, I had this one with me, but this is what I'll take with in a smaller container. As far as knives go, you know, you can take a zillion different types of knives. You can take big ones, small ones, whatever you're looking to take. Usually I'll take the more classic number 2. This is one I just got. That's the Helle Tamagami, which is Les Stroud's knife. This is the carbon version, and I'm liking that very much. The one I had with me on my last trip was this Essie number 5 knife, which I like a lot. It is definitely on the heavy side, but as far as processing wood and hardcore tasks, it's going to have no problem whatsoever. I kind of put that on here. I'm not sure if I like it on the shoulder strap, but you can always move it around. Also, have a nice little compass. This one is a compass and a thermometer, or whatever they're called. Tell what temperature it is outside. Let's go to the side of the pack now. I'm going through that stuff. And here's where I have a cook kit. I got my alcohol stove fuel, and I have my Foster's pot, which I really like a lot. This is just a little coolie. I saw Shug Emery, Shugemery. He has a channel where he does a lot of hammock camping, where I learned a lot of hammock camping from him. And I just have my cook kit in here. This is a mini bull design, mini atomic alcohol stove, a little stand and windscreen in there. Fits all in there. And I have usually take I'll take 1 4-ounce bottle with me on a day trip. You never know when you're going to need it, etc., etc. Normally I don't use all that when I go out though. And that's usually all going to be in this side. And I actually have another bottle of Purell in here, which kind of snuck in there. As far as the other side here, what I have is I have some rope. I usually take a hank of 550 cord. You can use it for a lot of different things. Putting your bear bags up, and lines, any kind of line that you need to set up. It's easier to use this than to make it out in the wild, which I despise making cord in the wild. This is definitely something that I say everyone needs in their backpack. This little saw, which is the Bahco Laplander, I've had for a few years now, and this is without a doubt the best saw that you could probably get. It's better than the Stanley, which I was touting a couple years back, because it's so compact, and it does cut extremely well, so I always have that with me. And of course, you're going to have some bug spray. This is just some Ultrathon. I really like the Ultrathon insect repellent. You just spray it on. The last time I went on the Appalachian Trail video, I didn't have any insect problems or insect bites whatsoever, so this stuff has always worked for me over the years. As far as the front of the bag goes, I only have one thing in there right now. Usually I'll put some food in there. This is my fire kit, and I'll have a fire steel on top here. And then on the inside, I'll have a host of different fire starters. I'll have a lighter in there. I'll have, I have 3 different ones. I have burner, trioxane, and an Esbit fire starter there. It's easily enough for a few days, but you never know when you're going to need such things, so I always take a few with. As far as inside the bag, I have my lines and my stakes for the hammock, for more so the hammock fly over top there, the tarp that I use, and I use MSR groundhog stakes, which I find they are the best, and I don't recommend any other stake. Those never move. They're the best stakes I've ever come across. Then I have my lines in here that I custom made, little tension lines here that have some shock cord to them. Then we'll go in here a little deeper. I always take a towel with me of some sort, one of these really quick absorbing towels. They dry out really quick too, so they always come in handy in different situations. And I got my clothes. The clothes I'll be wearing on the trail, normally I don't like to wear shorts, so I'll have either like those cool, like I just recently reviewed the cool revolver pants, some sort of a really lightweight pant. I also like the True Spec 24/7. It gives you more of a tactical look, which I don't really care for, but they're also good pants that I do like to wear. As far as socks go, nothing has beaten this Fox River sock. This is a Fox River military sock, and it's called the military sock, but it has the nice venting here, and a little bit of extra padding on the front here and on the rear where your heel is. Really great socks, and they're the ones that I have a couple pairs of these. I really like these a lot. As far as extra clothes goes, and depending on the year, depending on what I'm going to wear, the day I go on the trail, especially for an overnight hike, you really don't got to take much at all. But what I'll take with me, what I always have with me, whether it's on me or in here, I'll always have an extra dry t-shirt, dry socks, and dry long sleeve shirt. This is a wool, really thin Stoic base layer that I really like. It was really cheap. It was, I forget the price of it, it was really cheap. It has thumb holes here for you. This is my favorite wool base layer. This is a wool base layer top again. This is Icebreaker Body Fit 150. This was made This was really cheap again on backcountry.com, and with this one you just size up a size. Now I have some sort of a technical top. This one I actually just got, and I really like it a lot. It's made by Croft and Barrow. It was on sale at Kohl's for like 75% off. I think I got it for like $13. But you know, it's vented. It really, I mean, this time of year is really going to help with the heat. But also you'll be able to keep this on and get the sun away from you, or bugs or whatever you're trying to get away from you. So it's a really cool top there that I found amazingly at Kohl's, not REI or wherever you're going to also look. Then I also have my Tarp Fly or hammock tarp. This is a Hennessy Hex Fly, and it works out really well. It is a little heavy because it's not like a sil nylon, etc. But you know, we all can't afford, you know, the really expensive stuff. Then I have in here is just a little bag. These are what I call just in cases if you're not in winter. Say you're in fall time or springtime. I have some possum wool, possum hair, fur, whatever the hell you want to call it. Fingerless gloves. These are amazing. I think you can only get them in New Zealand. You have to buy it from New Zealand. But I also have this Blackrock Gear hat, and I've been recently using this, and I really like it a lot. It's made of down, and it's super lightweight. It barely weighs anything. I think it weighs 2 ounces, and you know, the fit of it, I mean, it just feels so comfortable around your head, and it really insulates. You know, it's something to wear, you know, if you're hammock camping, hammock backpacking, whatever you want to call it. If you're doing that at night, and you know, you're gonna want something, you know, on your head the majority of the year to keep it nice and warm throughout the night. You know, this is definitely something you should look into, especially, you know, or any time of year, any kind of camping really, because if you're backpacking, this thing weighs barely anything but provides you a ton of warmth. Then I have my hammock Roo hammock right here. As you can see, it's about as big as my hand here. This one's about twice the size of my hand. This is the Roo, and this is the straps. I really like that one. I also have a single nest or something like that. I forget the name of it. This is a luxury that takes up a ton of space, but it really makes sleeping at night a lot more comfortable, and that's a pillow. This is a Grand Trunk pillow that I got a while ago, and I use all the time because it does compact. You know, it gets pretty small, but it's not huge. So, and that's not something you need when you're in, you know, hammock camping, is like a huge pillow. Sometimes they can get away with just putting some stuff together, maybe some clothes, maybe a clothes bag, but sometimes I just want to take a pillow and you know, really comfort it out. And usually on an overnight trip, you're not gonna be backpacking in that far and hiking in that far. Compared to a multi-day trip, you know, I'll take that with. Over here I got a bug net. This is a War Bonnet Traveler bug net. It compacts down really small. As you can see, it's still compacting. But you know, this thing works really well with the hammock Roo, and you know, when you want to get the bugs away, get a bug net for your hammock. Actually, this is the one I took with me. This is the towel I've been looking for, but this is the towel I took with me when I went on my Appalachian Trail overnight trip. It's a Sea to Summit dry lake. We're going to talk about some water bottles, actually. And you know, you can take something like this. This is just a water bottle I got from Giant. Smart water bottles make really good water bottles. Trying to get the weight down, you know, instead of using something like a Nalgene, which I'll show you here, you can use something that, you know, you just wash out, you know. You're going to save, I think, 5 ounces between the two of these. So if you're going to take 2 of these, or you're going to take 2 of these, you're going to save yourself almost 2/3 of a pound of weight just by switching to these. Are they as durable? No, but I've never had a problem with these. I've had any problem with these whatsoever. You know, you just go down, fill them up, whatever. But the best thing to do is to get these collapsible ones. If you're looking to really cut down the weight. This is a big one. This is a 96 ounce Nalgene. You can also get platypus ones. And what you can do is, you know, you can fold these up. And I was talking to this guy on the trail the last time I was on an Appalachian Trail, and he was saying he had a bunch of these platypuses, and I've never used them, the platypus ones, and you know, he's like, well, you know, there's different parts of the trail you need more water, different parts of the trail you don't, etc., etc. So what he does is he takes a bunch of these platypuses and rolls them up. He's like, hey, when I don't need it, I roll them up. They take up about this much room, And, you know, but if you take a bunch of these, say you take 3 of these, they take up a lot of room. So I'm going to be looking to switch to that when, you know, money comes available to me, because I think that's a really good idea. You just have to be cognizant of the fact that it's not going to be as durable as a really thick-walled either metal, which is something you'll need if you're going to be doing boiling of water versus filtering of water, or if you're going to be doing the hard-walled plastic. So just have to be cognizant of that. Now when it comes to sleeping bags, I have a little bit of a different thought there. You know, you can go with a heavier sleeping bag, or you can kind of go with a light sleeping bag with an inner liner like this Thermolite Reactor by Sea to Summit. This is really cool because it'll up it by 10 degrees. I don't think 10 degrees is really realistic, but you know, you can probably get 5 to 6 degrees warmth with this little thing right here. Barely weighs anything, so you can go with a lighter sleeping bag and get one of these. The sleeping bag that I like to use is this Mountain Hardwear Pine Hole. And this sleeping bag goes everywhere with me. I haven't done a review on it yet. I really should, but this thing is the best sleeping bag I've ever come across, quite frankly. It really keeps you warm. It's super light at only 3 pounds, I think 2 ounces. And, you know, it just gets the job done. And when I'm in the hammock, what I'll do is I'll unzip this all the way, and I'll put my feet in it, and I'll just drape it over me like this. Okay, kind of like a quilt, because you don't need to put yourself completely in it, because you have the pad, you have this pad giving you R value and warmth on your back. All you really need to do is just drape it over you. So I put my feet in the bottom here and I'll just drape it over me. But this Mountain Hardwear Pine Hole, whatever the hell it's called, is really cheap too. I think it's around $70. You can get it for around $70. And it's been the best sleeping bag that I've ever had. When it comes to cooking, you know, I talked about that Foster's pot. Something else you could do that every once in a while I'll do is I'll take a smaller one, not this size MSR, but I'll take a smaller canister of fuel, Snow Peak makes one, and I'll take the pocket rocket. And you know, if I just want to get out there and I just want to have a little bit of comfort, maybe pack in maybe a few more ounces, you know, I'll carry the pocket rocket with me with some fuel. I mean, that's just immediate. You're going to be making your meal. As far as meals go, what I've been trying lately is these Packet Gourmets. This is a Packet Gourmet, which is a happy hour queso rico. Haven't tried it yet, but I'm going to try it. Everything I've tried from them so far has been really good. I also do the Mountain House. Everyone pretty much has those. And you know, on the trail, if I really just want to pound the pavement, don't want to stop really, I like to pack a protein drink. And the one protein drink that I pretty much over anything else, due to the fact that it's like lactose free, it's free of soy, you know, there's not a ton of crap in it, you know, and it's a beef protein, is this Muscle Meds Carnivore. I've been using this lately, and I really like that. Really small too, but I use that to work out, and I use it on the trail. As far as a metal container, if you like to go that route for making your water and boiling your water instead of maybe carrying a filter, would be just a regular old Clean Canteen single-walled aluminum, stainless steel, what am I saying? Stainless steel bottle. They work wonders. I paint mine with the ceramic Rust-Oleum, and that protects it from, you know, scratches, and also helps it heat up a little bit. Another thing you're going to need when you're on the trail is a flashlight. I like a headlamp, and I like the Princeton Tech ones because they're USA made. But also you're going to need a flashlight of some sort. I like this Fenix because, yeah, it has like 650 lumens, but it also has the ability to go to different modes. And you know, you don't need 650 lumens, but if you're going to get a 650 lumen flashlight, it's nice to have the ability to adjust it down instead of having it, you know, solely as a constant 650 lumen. But a good flashlight that'll definitely help you back on your backpacking trip. Other things that I'll use is, you know, as far as shirts go, you know, this is a bamboo shirt. I like that as well. Really nice, soft, and wicks away the moisture from your body really well. I really like hats, and you know, I like hats for protection from insects, protection from ticks more so. But you know, as far as having a good warmth hat, you know, this is a alpaca wool hat. And I think it's a mixture of alpaca wool and wool, and it's made by I can put the link down below to her. She handmade this. She has one of those, I forget the name of her company. It's something goat, something or other. It's like smiling goats, laughing goats, or I don't know. It's kind of a funny name. But yeah, she made me this. I think it was like $24, and my lady says that it looks sort of girly, so she kind of confiscated it. Because I got the rolled edges. You can get the regular look, but I got these rolled edges, and you know, I think she's just trying to take the hat from me, quite frankly, because it's an awesome hat. But having a really good warmth hat, you know, is really going to get you farther when you're out in a colder condition. You know, keeping your head warm is going to instantly make you feel a ton better when you're in the wilderness. You know, if I'm wearing this kind of hat, not really going to do much. But if I start throwing on, you know, some sort of a warmth barrier, a wool hat, this is alpaca wool, or the down hat that I had earlier. If I start putting that on, it's instantly going to really keep the heat in, because a lot of your heat in your body goes through your head. So that's another very important thing, is to take a hat with you. Maybe even take two if you know, if you're worried about, you know, you want to wake up in the morning and have a nice dry hat to put on, or before you go to bed, whatever. You know, a good hat is definitely going to get you far. A good cook set is definitely going to help as well. I have a lot of experience with wood ones. This is a solo pot, which I'm not huge on. I'm not a huge fan of. But this is their solo pot and their solo stove. And, you know, it kind of goes like this. You put the wood in here, and then you put the top on there, and then you set your pot or whatever you want on top of there. I mean, it's good in design. And compactivity, if that's even a word, but it doesn't work so well. The Bush Buddy, I think, works better, and the Bush Buddy was the originator of that design, so that's a little plug there. But as far as that goes, you know, you can do wood stoves like the Firebox. Chi-Wiz, which is a hilarious name, makes a stove that I really like, called the Firefly Stove, and it's a really cool, really compact stove. You know, I use that with the Foster pot and the alcohol stove as a combination there, and it works really well because you can use them in combination with each other. You know, using the Firefly Stove that Chi-Wiz makes as a stand for your alcohol stove as well, and it makes a great fire stove as a backup to your alcohol. Say if your alcohol stove isn't working, and say you run out of alcohol, you can use that Firefly Stove as a backup, or a main one, whatever you want to do. It only weighs like 2 ounces or something crazy. That's why I like it. So that's a little look at what I take with me. A lot of people ask me what I take with me on an overnight trip, because that's what I did last. So, you know, that's the kind of stuff I take with me. What do you guys take with you? Go ahead and make some video responses and put in there what you guys take with you when you go hiking or backpacking in the wilderness. And, you know, what do you take on overnight trips, or on 3-day trips, or on a week trip, etc., etc. And you know, let us know what you take with, or you can even comment down below. I'll put all the links to everything down below, and details to everything that I have here and everything that I take with me, and I'll also put it on my website as well. So if you guys have any questions or anything, let me know. Until next time, later. So more than likely, I'm going to take this Gregory. I'm going to take a Gregory.